Like every Monday night, you are checking out Breakfast Super Raw.
Bon appetit as Don, Tony, and Mish dish out their opinions about the world of pro wrestling, sports, news, and pop culture. Breakfast Super Raw.
And now, your host, Mish and Don Tony.
Work sucks, but when you're having fun, it doesn't feel like work. Tonight is the first episode under the Blue Wire banner, and I'm celebrating it alone. Good evening, everybody. Breakfast Soup Raw. Mish has internet problems. He emailed me about 2 hours ago, and he's like, look, I'm having outages, which he really does. He really does. He says, I can't come on tonight. So I am here by my lonesome. Mish will be back with me next week. If you can't wait till next week, tomorrow on Patreon, Mish and I will be back. Mike Roche, welcome to the family, my friend. Now, for those that did not tune into Thursday, and basically have not been on social media, the deal is done and it is officially signed and effective technically today. I am now a member of the Blue Pods family and Blue Wire Pods, And in case you didn't know about the network, just to summarize it, I've had places approach me in the past. Some opportunities I turned down. Some I never really pursued. Some didn't feel like the right fit. And what I always wanted is quality over quantity. You know, I didn't want to be part of a network with 1,000 wrestling shows. If I was going to be part of something, I wanted it to be special. I wanted to feel like the network truly was looking out for me and for them to make a couple of dollars, but at the same time, you know, really, really looking out for me and not just sending a generic email. And for anybody that has been a long time supporter of mine, when I do this, hey, what did you think of Raw tonight? I didn't think it was a Harley show. Oh, Rollins and Owens too. When I do that, you know what that is. So who would have ever thought in a million years, tell me this doesn't look weird. Think Maven teaming up with Evolution. This is the company that I join. That is all the wrestling shows on their network. I join Chris Van Vliet, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Gallows and Anderson and Rocky Romero, Sam Roberts, and the other two shows, Top Rope Nation and What's Wrong with Wrestling, which I've heard of before, but never really followed them all that much. I think the guy from Wrong with Wrestling was part of the Edge and Christian show. So I am in elite company. Boy, that's going to be a challenge. I am up for it. I am excited for it. And if you want to get a good idea, and Philip Maffey confirms it, Mish is not the only one having internet problems tonight. He's been having internet problems all day, Philip. No, listen. Dude, let me say this clear. The guy doesn't lie to me. He'll tell me straight up, look, I just don't feel like doing the show. You know, so I'm not, you know, because few people tonight were like, oh, you know, you think there's a little bitterness because of the move and everything. No, of course not. We look out for each other. We're happy for each other. You know, some people call me the hardest working person out there, which is not true. Mish, I truly believe, works harder than me. So, Joe Punches, thank you very much, my friend, as well. But if all of you out there want to get a little feel as far as what this network has, because remember, it's not just wrestling. You know, this is a whole sports network. And, you know, they got some pretty good partners and sponsors. You know, this is not, hey, check out Bob's, I don't know, cannabis. You know, these are legit sponsors. But if we go down to the shows, I know a lot of these shows will be recognizable. A lot of boxing, baseball, wrestling, basketball, hockey, MMA, fantasy sports, a lot of athletes, famous Hall of Famers. Yeah, look, right there. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm in elite company, and this is awesome, and it all starts tonight. Oh, this is something I'm going to show you in a couple of moments. I think you're going to find that extremely, extremely interesting. AJ Lee's autograph signing over the weekend here in New York at the big event. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to and look, do I think it's her fault? No, not in the slightest. But man, when I show you something in a little bit, I truly believe all of you out there are going to be like, wow, what nasty people. Not AJ Lee, but the company that I guess she was representing. Oof, wow. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little blue tonight. Hey, another announcement you might get a kick out of. Remember I did the unboxing of the Bray Wyatt FOCO? And, I've always put over FOCO, bobbleheads for a while. Do you know FOCO reached out to me and they said, DT, we would love for you to work with us to promote our bobbleheads. And in return, we'll send you some and you unbox it on your shows. You give away a few. And I was like, hell yeah. So soon, because it's not yet. The first one we're actually going to get is this. Undertaker and Kane. And check that out, man. I mean, the bobbleheads are sold separately, but you put them together in the ring. Undertaker is on his knees. That's why he looks short. But if you check out these photos, I mean, my God, look at that. That's pretty freaking cool. This is their latest creation, Undertaker and Kane. So that will be coming out shortly. And when we get it, we will definitely promote it. So there you go. Oh, that looks better. So pretty cool. I got to tell you, I really can't complain about these last 7 days. Look, an average Raw, I'm telling you, man, God bless all those goofs online that need attention so bad that they have to just keep crapping on Raw over and over and over and over again. I mean, the XFL, 2001 XFL. For the first week or two, it was exciting. The third week, it started getting a little bit corny. Then they started doing storylines with the cheerleaders and some other stuff, and it really got horrible. And the ratings went down and down and down, and they pulled the plug. How many of you out there watched in 2001 every week until it closed down? No. Majority of you out there said, look, I've had it. I've had it. No more. How many TV shows over the years that had a TV series that went on 3, 4, 5, 7 years? When I was a kid, one of my favorite shows was Three's Company. And obviously, after a while, times evolve a little bit and, people move on, they get older. And the show ended. By the time the show ended, it was time to close. And then they did Three's a Crowd, and it was horrendous. Couldn't watch it. Didn't like it. You look at Urkel. Did I do that? Urkel. The first couple of years, geez, it's fine. Then he's doing scientific experiments that in any other planet, he would have been arrested 25 years to life for some of the stuff he did. He's jumping out of airplanes. They jumped the shark more than Fonzie. And it got to the point that everybody's like, man, I can't watch this anymore. This is ridiculous. It's awful. It's goof. It's not good. So if you turn off XFL after a few weeks, if you turn off other TV series when they really can't come up with, even me, my favorite TV show of all time is Miami Vice. And by the time they got this to season 5, I was like, oh man, this is just not good. The James Brown episode, if you're on a little bit of CBD, you'll enjoy it more. But by the last season, they did an episode about semen from cows, that people were smuggling the cum of cows. People turned it off. So if you can't watch after a while, why do they still insist to talk about Raw? This has been going on for years. Do you realize people now in their 30s will be in their 50s? People in their 40s will be in their 60s. People in their 50s will be in their 70s. And when you have, I don't know, Twitter, high definition Twitter for grandpas that can't see, do you realize 10, 20 years from now, I decided to count the silver pubic hairs on my penis instead of watching Raw. I don't want to see Dominic Mysterio taking on Seth Rollins' kid. I mean, that's how you get attention now? I'm not watching it. The show sucks. Oh, it's awful. How many years have to go by until it gets through your head? Find something else to watch. Me, wasn't as bad as people pointed it out. Kept saying online. Rollins, doing what he does, I enjoy it. Finn Balor and Kevin Owens had a decent match. Bobby Lashley and Rey Mysterio, it is what it is. This is to please the live audience and the continuous storyline. You're not going to get indie pay-per-view quality Raws anymore. If you take away Roman Reigns from SmackDown, could you imagine what people would be saying about the show? So my God, it gets old very quickly. You look at people's Twitter accounts from 10 years ago. Oh, man, I don't even know how to use CM Punk right. This is awful. This is garbage. I can't believe they're doing a storyline talking about his abuse or his insistence on not drinking. How could they do that with Jericho and the alcohol? That's fucked up. Why can't they respect people's boundaries and this and that? Oh, what's all this PG stuff? What's with this? My God, that's all these people have left? I hope WWE goes out of business. I don't really hope that, but I hope it does. Because God forbid, what are you going to complain about? You take away the complaints of WWE programming or AEW programming, because a lot of people that crap on AEW also. You take away the complaints of social media accounts talking about AEW or WWE in a negative light, and what do you have? I had bananas for breakfast. I had coffee. I'm thinking about going to the grocery store, but I don't know if I should have Chinese or if I should have stir fry, which technically is Chinese. Oh my goodness, God. Man, keep those 100 likes. I'll enjoy what we're doing here. We'll try to make the best of it, everyone. Not everything on Raw was very good tonight, but we'll talk about it. All right. So now you know that the format on Monday has changed a little bit, that we don't spend an hour and a half talking about Raw. Raw deserves 10 minutes of discussion, honestly. And that's pretty much what we're going to get into. We're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about other things going on. We're going to talk about Cody once again. Once again, back is the incredible. Oh, wait. You got to take under. All right. Enough of the FOCO for tonight. This happened again today, everybody. Why? I mean, why? Cody, for those on audio only, shout out to everybody. Cody took his account offline again. There's a difference of deactivating your account and just taking it offline. Deactivating the account means that, if I get it, maybe I can get Cody Rhodes his account. Deactivated means you close it down. That's it. It's done. It's over with. It's over with. Taking it offline is a whole totally different ballgame. And Cody Rhodes took his Twitter account offline again. I don't know the reason why. I've always said it, from Lana to others, that even though people are rich, even though people are, stars, movie stars, athletes, musicians, mental health is sometimes even tougher for them than it is for us. Because we could crawl in a corner and 99 out of 100 people would recognize us. So I don't know the reason why he took it offline. There is no reason other than the logical that, obviously getting some BS online. I don't know. There's a lot of people suddenly having this vendetta to confront Cody about Jay Lethal, which I think is ridiculous. If you're outraged, everyone, you're outraged every day, not when someone gets a job offer somewhere. Am I right? Am I wrong? So hopefully it's not too bad of a situation for Cody, but Cody took his account offline again. And yes, every week now we must have timestamps. So no worries. If you see me writing a little bit, that's why. And especially since I'm doing a solo tonight, I was prepared for a discussion, not one-sided, but it's all good. I got the Donzilla Army in the chat room tonight. Benjamin Wombology, Mark and Austin, Sam, Connor, and everybody else. Shout out to you. We are one female missing on Team SmackDown for Survivor Series. And WWE had posted earlier today, who would you like to see join Team SmackDown for Survivor Series? And 9 out of 10 people wrote Asuka. And I like Asuka. Obviously, I think Asuka is the second greatest female wrestler of this generation next to Charlotte. Oh, and by the way, I got to show you something about the Charly doll, because was it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it was last Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday, because we had the big giveaways. One of them, somebody's going to win this Thursday, the Charly and the Alexa Bliss doll. But something about the doll that I didn't even realize. I made a mistake last week, and my fiance pointed it out to me. I'm going to show you in a few minutes. If Asuka could talk English more, and I know some people on the service like, oh, that's racist. No, if she could cut a promo instead of going, oh. I love her promos. They're fun, but you can't verbally put someone down. Nobody's ready for Asuka. After a while, you got to come up with more. The fact that Charlotte could literally destroy someone simply by talking, that's the only reason why she's ahead of Asuka in my book. So anyway, everybody was writing Asuka, and I wrote somebody different today. If she's ready for a return, how many of you would like to see Bayley on Team Survivor Series, SmackDown? Team SmackDown, Survivor Series. I'd love to see Bayley back. I think Bayley is needed because Bayley is not only, tremendous in the ring, she's great on the mic as well. It would be interesting, now since they've pretty much made Sasha a baby face, now you could feel like, okay, Bayley could come back, be the heel that she was. Because look, you have SmackDown and you have Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte heels. Man, that's a lot of weight to put on the shoulders of some of the younger talents there, and Toni Storm and others. And I think Shotzi Blackheart, I don't think people want her as a heel. I mean, give her time. She's been a babyface for so long. This is a challenge. You can't just wake up and suddenly, oh, now I'm the nastiest bitch of them all. So I'd like to see Bayley on the team, to be honest with you. So speaking of Survivor Series, we had a change to the men's team tonight. Rey Mysterio. The Mysterios, no love from Adam Pearce. No love for either Mysterio. Rey Mysterio gets a match tonight against Bobby Lashley. Rey deserved it after waiting a week to confront Adam Pearce. What was that about my son last week? That's my Rey Mysterio impersonation. So he gets his ass handed to him by Bobby Lashley. And we're at 10:59, and I'm like, okay, USA, doesn't give overruns anymore. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And Adam Pearce announces that, Rey's been pulled from Team Raw. So instead, he gives it to Austin Theory, who showed up in the ring, attacked Ray, attacked Dominic. So did the selfie, and Adam Pearce is like, I like your style. Adam Pearce sounds like Ray. You know why I sound like that? I just realized it from the AEW Full Gear recap. I took it out of storage. The people need to know. So I still got a little Baron Von Raschke in me still. Got to get it out of my system. Then I'll sound more like Rey Mysterio. Booyakah. So Austin Theory has taken the place. No problem with it at all. People like, oh, he gets no reaction. Yeah. And so didn't Damian Priest when he first got on the Raw roster. So didn't a lot of other people early on. Kevin Owens didn't get it early on. You remember me? Owens always chewing all the time, chewing all the time, chewing all the time. And we were cracking jokes. How many people used to say Kevin Owens looks like the fat guy that, stands by the pool and refuses to take his shirt off? That's what everybody was saying when Kevin Owens came up to the main roster. Not everybody, but that was the loudest noise. And look at him now. Look at him in 7 days. Back to being a heel. I don't know how I feel about Kevin Owens turning again, because honestly, this storyline is flawed. Yeah, we're criticizing Raw. It's flawed. Big E, I don't know what it is, everyone. Have you picked up on it? Big E, the way he talks seems like it has changed over the last couple of weeks. He sounds more like a prophet. When I became WWE champion. And Kevin Owens, why don't you get your raggedy ass out here now? Something has changed with his promos, and it doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound smooth. And this whole thing with Kevin Owens, if you look at the storyline, Big E is the jerk. Big E is the one, not believing him. Big E was the one that seems like his panties are soiled. And I freaking love Big E. I'm happy Big E became champion. This is something a lot of us wanted for a long time. But man, I don't know what WWE is trying to get him to do. This is not him on his own doing this. I'm not criticizing him. But somebody is telling him, you need to be more forceful. You need to talk in sound bites. Just pretend you're on Twitter and it's only allowed 100 characters instead of 320. Kevin Owens, I have to deal with you. I mean, how many times did Big E say tonight to the Usos, I'm going to see your daddy. Your daddy. Is there a commercial break yet? I'm going to see your daddy. I can't wait to see your daddy on Sunday. Your daddy. Commercial break yet, please? Daddy. Sounds like me when I was at the beach when I was a kid. I was going to do a Rodney Dangerfield joke, but I don't remember it too much. I wasn't planning on it. Am I wrong? Doesn't it seem like something has changed with Big E's delivery and it just doesn't sound natural? There's something too, managed about his promos. Telling you. Big E, look, he got some nice crowd reaction tonight, and he should. But man, something just seems off by it. But look, Kevin Owens is awesome. Kevin Owens, he could be a babyface for 30 years and just go out there and say, everybody could go to hell, and everybody will boo him out. Now, look, when he did come out today, you could look at it. WWE piped in a crap load of boos. If you look at that audience, they were just sitting there because a lot of them, I think, were confused. Like, was that just a one-off with Kevin Owens and he's just mad at Big E? Because remember, Drew McIntyre claimed Big E. Drew McIntyre was going to face Big E for the championship at Crown Jewel. So there was a little bit of tension there. Can they coexist? So a lot of people were unsure, like, all right, was this just them two, like, not getting along? Or are we supposed to boo him? And you look at the crowd is like this. And it's like the Vlay. I say I can't go boo, then I have to move my lips. But they're just sitting there going, boo, ooh, use hook, use hook, use hook, use hook. So Kevin Owens is now a full-blown heel. Obviously, he's going to be taking on Big E down the line for that championship. Seth Rollins will get the shot first. Hopefully, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens could get Big E over that hump, because a lot of people are still feeling that championship reign just feels like something is missing from it. So, Austin Nance says, I'm on a roll tonight. I'm just reacting honestly. Don't have to force, criticism. I mean, there were good things about Raw tonight. So, you know what? Let's spend the first few minutes. Let's get Raw out of the way. Let's just get into the match results, a couple little tidbits, and then we'll get into news. And I definitely want to go 90 minutes today at the most. I'd like to finish a little earlier, because don't forget, tomorrow on Patreon, Wednesday we got Wednesday Night Dynamite, Thursday's Q&A with Don Tony, Saturday is the Don Tony Show, and Sunday, wow. If you all did not tune in yet, and forgive me for not having the banner ready to put up, if you didn't tune in yesterday to the pilot episode of The Sit Down, you missed a really, really good show. This is a show that it looks like we're going to debut regularly and have it aired on Sundays. Not late Sunday night, maybe like 8, 9 o'clock. We're still tinkering with the time, but yesterday we did a trial run, took calls for the entire show, a little bit of chat mixed in as well. And the topics that we got into yesterday were awesome. I mean, we hit old school, not so old school, new school. We talked AEW, real life, it's so many different topics. And what was great about it is nothing's out of bounds. Hit me with your best shot. I mean, we were talking about Jay White. We were talking about New Japan, Jonah, the former Bronson Reed. Any topic people brought up, I was ready for it. So it was a great episode. And if you didn't check it out, check it out. I really think you'll enjoy it. So I don't know if the artwork will remain that way, but The Sit Down, that's a Mafia reference, The Sit Down. The families have to get together, have a sit down. They have to have a meeting. Like last year, Tony Khan and NWA and Impact Wrestling, they all had to sit down. We need to get through this COVID. So we got to do whatever we can to survive. And Tony Khan put on his bib, had the fork and knife in his hand, drooling, like, oh, what do you have in mind? What am I going to benefit mostly from? So Raw tonight, we get the usual, and I like Sonya Deville, man. I am a fan of hers. But this official stuff, no. We're not going to have it happen like that. I'm going to just do this on the fly. And I'm going to take a tag match and turn it into a 6-man because Seth Rollins interfered. I'm going to do it on the fly. Too many weeks doing that stuff. For those that didn't see it, Big E came out, opened up the show, cut a promo, as I said earlier, talking about Roman Reigns and Survivor Series. When Roman took the crown, Big E got a big frown. And, he turned... I just realized it. Wow, I swear to God, I didn't think about this before tonight. Big E, because of Roman Reigns, he turned that frown up, down. I wonder if they ever used that phrase before. So Big E has got his balls in a bunch because of Roman Survivor Series. Fine, whatever. Kevin Owens comes out. If you all going to blame it on me, if I'm the bad guy, I'm going to be the baddest guy out there. And he blames everything on Big E, and rightfully so. But Kevin Owens now full-blown heel. Steph, I am not bashing Sonya. It's not Sonya's fault. This is WWE. Go out there. And you're going to go out there. You're going to, after the DQ, you're going to go out there and you're going to say that, you just thought about this on the fly and you're going to make it a 6-man tag and walk to the back. Too many times they do that. People expect it. So anyway, that's exactly what happened. We have Big E after the Kevin Owens stuff. and obviously Kevin Owens is not involved in these matches because he's got Finn Balor later on. Big E ends up teaming up with Riddle. And, Riddle has a little confrontation with Randy Orton later on because Randy Orton is trying to convince Riddle, stop getting involved in other people's businesses. And Riddle is like, Randy, I thought it was a good idea to help Big E because they're going up against the Usos, which is who we're facing at Survivor Series. It actually makes sense. Randy. So Big E and Riddle take on Usos. Seth Rollins comes out at ringside. Ha 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 ha. Causes the disqualification. Sonya comes out there. No. We're not going to have it end like this. So she makes it a 6-man, and it's Big E and Randy Orton, along with Riddle. They defeat Seth Rollins and the Usos. We have Bianca Belair take on Tamina, and a little backstage friction. Doudrop, because it was so random to have what happened last week to get Bianca out of the title picture. They can't just have Doudrop suddenly, forget about Bianca and start, dancing down the stage, when she's for her matches. And when people are clowning on Doudrop, she could go, oh, the haters. So they got to continue that for a little while to keep Bianca out of the title picture. Okay, fine. Tamina gets beat by Bianca Belair. There's a little video floating around. If you're a big Bianca Belair fan, you'll appreciate it. There's a little girl sitting at ringside that is a diehard fan of Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair, I think before Raw started, she actually came down the rampway and, spent a couple of minutes with this little fan. And it's really, really nice. Somebody caught it on video. So you might want to go check that out. Becky cutting a promo, first on Charlotte, gets interrupted by Liv Morgan. And, look, I give Liv Morgan a lot of credit. I know she's been in WWE for a little while now, but I would not be surprised if Liv Morgan did the Aaliyah out of nervousness. You have Liv Morgan going up against Becky Lynch, not just wrestling, but having promo exchanges. And the funny thing about it is, Becky, look, you and I have talked about this for weeks. You realize it was 3 weeks ago when I said WWE is trying to get Becky and Charlotte to get those Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels vibes. That's exactly what they're trying to do. So Becky trying to be a little bit of a shoot on this. And look, early on, the crowd was big time behind Becky, especially throwing the bad mouth to Charlotte. And the Nature Boy, woo, he cannot stay on the sidelines. Nature Boy tweeted this tonight. I think I'm going to have to make the trip personally to see you beat the piss out of Miss Charlotte. He's mocking Becky Lynch. I don't think so, sister. The man, big time Bex, or whatever you call yourself, there's not enough choreography in the business to save you. Ric Flair, getting a little bit involved in this, sorry, Rick, we all love you. But next Monday on Raw, in the first 5 seconds, when you hear boom, 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 you're not going to hear, woo! They're not bringing it back anytime soon. But look, man, I'm enjoying this clash with Becky and Charlotte. I'm enjoying it. And it's going to clash at Survivor Series. Remember the little tease from a couple of weeks ago? Could we see some type of a screw job? Don't know. Don't want to know. But Ric Flair having a little bit of fun earlier today. So that's what he had to say about Becky Lynch. I'm putting some timestamps down. So Becky cutting the bad mouth to Charlotte, getting cheered. Liv comes out. Not much of a reaction at first, but Liv bringing up last week, and they're going back and forth a little bit. Liv holding her own, and then Liv basically, reverses a move and flips over Becky. Becky rolls out of the ring. The title's in the ring. Liv, because she's such a nice person, she picks up the title, and Becky's like, "That's mine. That's not yours. That's mine." And Liv puts it on the side of the ring. Go ahead, it's yours. Go ahead, it's yours. You can have it. Crowd is behind Liv Morgan, but Becky, it's interesting with Becky. I'm enjoying it. Numair Awan from Pakistan tuning in. Shout out to you, my friend. I hope you enjoyed the show. I don't know if you're a new viewer, but welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. So, as I said earlier, Randy reading the riot act to Riddle. Fine. Because Queen Zelina and Carmella will be the next in line to get a shot at the women's tag titles, which we talked about last week, we had a split as far as winners and losers amongst the tag teams. We had Queen Zelina beat Nikki Ash. And look, man, for everyone out there that, was always frustrated about Zelina not getting victories, now she's getting victories and those same people are complaining. I don't know what you could do to shut them up. Seriously. Rhea Ripley, as Corey Graves said, cleaning up the mess that Nikki Ash left. Ouch. She beats Carmella. And after the match is over, Queen Zelina cuts a promo. They're the future of the women's tag team division. Obviously, right after Survivor Series, you'll see that go in motion. By the way, we will do Survivor Series predictions on Saturday night. Now, I made a big mistake last week. I'm going away Thanksgiving weekend. I'm going away from Wednesday night or Thursday morning into Sunday. So I thought Survivor Series was that weekend. And I was like, son of a bitch, I'm going to be away for Survivor Series. And then I think it was Chris L and a few others had said to me, no, DT, it's the week before. I'm like, oh, okay, we can do it then. So this Saturday, during the Don Tony Show, we'll do predictions. Sunday, right after Survivor Series, I'll be here with your recap. Hey, if Mish is not doing a recap with Joey Numbers, I'll ask him if he wants to come on for a little while. So now we get a funny backstage segment with Seth Rollins. And he's cutting a promo talking about how he's not part of the team for Survivor Series. He's the leader. And he's going to take the title from Big E as well. And, the guy is just, even the little sound bites, he's addressing somebody off camera. Put it in the truck. Put it in the truck. Don't wake the baby. Don't wake the baby. So I like, his little, I'm telling you, man, you know the Seth Rollins shirts I've worn on the shows. I don't wear it so Seth Rollins can send me a like or a DM. Hey, thanks for, supporting all my stuff. No, I am not going to get that from them. It's not why I wear. I wear it because I support them. Thank you, Mighty Mighty, for the kind words and for the super chat. I'm stoked, man. Now, I should have said this early on. BlueWirePods.com. That is the network where you can check out all the shows that they have to offer. If you go in the wrestling section tonight, you will not see me there. As we speak, all the shows are being migrated over. It sucks because I used to have a domain name, DonTonyKevinCastle.com. And probably more out of repetition than laziness, I never changed it. So I have hundreds and hundreds of shows that are under that old domain name. And when you switch them over to a new network, those switch over as well. And I got rid of the domain, and then suddenly none of the files worked. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to upload individually like 1,000 shows. I don't have enough hours in a day to do that. So I bought the domain back. And but everything is being moved over. So tomorrow you will see me on that page. And it's an honor. It's an honor. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. I want everyone out there to support them. You check out the shows, go on the page over there, get the shows from there, and spread the word. We just begun. We just begun. year 25 of yours truly doing this stuff is going to be the greatest year yet, which means I'm probably going to crash and burn. Kevin Owens beating Finn Balor with a stunner. I wish this match would have went another 5-7 minutes long. Obviously, because of the Bobby Lashley Rey Mysterio match, that was impossible. But this is more designed. Do not be frustrated about Finn Balor losing again. This was more designed to cement Kevin Owens as a heel again. And Finn Balor is one of the most over baby faces in that company. So it's simple arithmetic. Kevin Owens they want him to be big time heel to help Biggie as well. Finn Balor, big time baby face. You get your match result tonight. AJ and Omos cutting a promo in the back about Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And I tell you, a lot of people out there wished we got more of Robert Roode versus AJ Styles in TNA back in the day. And I thought we were going to see like a much longer match tonight. We did not get it. Earlier, we had the Street Profits beat Chad Gable and Otis. And look, I am happy that Chad Gable is getting in-ring time. A lot more in-ring time than he was getting before. But tonight, yes, the Street Profits won and Montez gave him, the giant fruit roll-up. But I don't know, it just feels like it's going nowhere fast. And I'm a little worried that 2-3 weeks from now, we're going to start saying, hey, Chad Gable's not on Raw. He's not on Raw. He's not on Raw. And I wonder, where this goes from here. Personally, if they would have left that match off of Raw, maybe put it on main event instead, we could have had a longer match with AJ Styles and Omos against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. But this was more like a squash. It was more like a squash. And I actually would have enjoyed to see this match go a little bit longer. I said about the AEW pay-per-view, a match or two can sometimes go 6-7 minutes. That's not as short as people think. Not everybody can have an 18-minute match. But in this case, I wish this match went longer. I really do. Then we get Bobby Lashley, as we said, squashing Rey Mysterio. And this leads to Adam Pearce coming out. And, because he wants big-time competition for the safety of Rey. And after what happened, he pulls them off a Survivor Series. And in his place, Austin Theory. Anybody that goes back with me to NXT, with Austin Theory knows how much I like that guy as far as character and in-ring ability. It's got to start somewhere. We've had over the years, some people get their biggest statement early in their career at Survivor Series. We just had the celebration, 25 years of The Rock. I'm not saying Austin Theory is going to be in the same league as The Rock, but some wrestlers have debuted at Survivor Series, or that's where they made their earliest, biggest impact. So Austin Theory, they could go two ways, obviously, with this. He could get squashed like a grape and lose almost immediately, or he goes quite far in the Survivor Series match and takes a couple of selfies along the way. So I have no problem. With them putting Austin Theory. Now, yes, they announced the teams on social media, but at least they turn it into some storylines. This person gets taken off. This person is put on. This person is taken off. This person's put on. So what? Mix it up a little bit for a change. Do you really want 4-minute qualifying matches? Just have qualifying matches, a little storyline. Maybe the execution of the storyline hasn't been that good, but I'm fine with a little bit of diversity. And let's be honest. You look at the other matches that are announced for Survivor Series. These 5-on-5s, don't get the focus as it used to be. It doesn't. Look at the match where Lana was the sole survivor. Remember, everyone is awful. They don't do 5-on-5s like they used to. Okay, so then don't think about this match a little that too much. So that was your Raw episode tonight. Remember, we have a couple of prizes to give away tonight. In fact, I think we're going to do it right now. Remember last week, we were going to pick 4 winners. They will get each a personally autographed photo from Adam Bomb. You could have it made out to anything you want, as long as there's no expletives in it, because I think that would be a little disrespectful. And, look, you could have them say, certain things, but, to my biggest, best friend, the sexiest, most hardcore person I know, I'm just randomly saying stuff. But, so 4 people are going to win right now. And the rules were simple. Last week on the show, when you posted a comment, all you had to do after your comment is put hashtag Adam Bomb. Simple. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to pull up the episode from last week, which you will see right now. This is live. And to prove to you that this is live and I'm typing this, I'm going to put Austin on the top. I almost put autism. I almost did it again. Austin Survivor Series 2021. So at least this is real. I know you really can't see. It's a little cut off. But anyway, very simple. If you see over here, we got a contest thing called Pick a Winner. So what we do is I type in over here, hashtag Adam Bomb, and this is going to randomly select entries from last week. And the first 4 people that we pull that use that hashtag will win a personally signed photo from Adam Bomb. Adam Bomb is a friend of the family here. And, a lot of people were big fans of him back in the day, even with Chronic. They loved his work with Chronic, even with Canyon, with Mortis and Wrath. So anyway, obviously no one will be picked twice. So if an entry comes up more than once, then we will pick again. So the 4 winners, congrats to Lee Madden. Lee Madden, you win signed photo. All you got to do is DM me on Twitter or email me, dontony@dontony.com. Send me your shipping address and what you would like the photo made out to. It doesn't have to be personalized. If you just want him to sign it, that's fine too. But if you want it personalized, let me know what you'd like for it to say. Second winner tonight, Tom Nelson. Congrats to Tom. So he gets an Adam Bomb photo. Third winner tonight, James Pasco. Congrats to James Pasco. And the 4th winner tonight is Elman Shah. So 4 good guys, 4 prizes, and someone who did not win, Larry C. Nope, you lost. Should we give Larry C one anyway? I know Brian Clark will not mind signing the 5th, so yeah, we'll give it to Larry C. So so we got 5. Hey, it's a good night tonight. So congrats to them. Yeah, you could actually see, look, that's the background of what I see right now. So, all right, let's take this off the screen. Let's take that off the screen. I want to bring up the AJ Lee thing. Let's put the timestamp. The 4 winners for Adam Bomb. Now we put the AJ Lee. Big event autograph convention took place this weekend. 2 years ago, in March, I hung out with Mish, Shaheen Nuclear Graphics, AJ Moore, and a few others. We had a tremendous time, hung out with a bunch of wrestlers too. Bill Apter. Oh man, Bill Apter was so cool. Jimmy Hart. Sabu was actually pretty cool also, and others. We had a great time. And this was as COVID hit. And looking back on how many people were at that convention, it's amazing that a lot of people didn't get sick. Thank God none of us got sick. But anyway, now we're starting to really turn the corner with COVID. It's going to be around for a few years. We've been saying that for a while. But they had convention this weekend, and I wanted to go. And I'll be honest with you. I thought the big event did a piss poor, they managed this piss poor. They did a piss poor job this year promoting this, because there were a boatload of people that I know that said, oh my God, it's this weekend. I had no idea. They didn't push it on websites all that much. They didn't like keep telling people retweet, repost, do this, do that, do this. Hell, some of the wrestlers out there didn't even really post anything. So I thought this was not done very well. The convention itself was decent. Now, Eddie Kingston did not appear. Malakai Black did not appear. It was feared that Eddie Kingston had suffered a shoulder injury at the pay-per-view. He went and had, I believe, an MRI check done on his shoulder, and everything is fine. So he is not injured. He's good to go, but he missed this convention as a result. A lot of people were looking forward to seeing him, and obviously they didn't get the opportunity to do so. Same thing with Malakai Black. Now, Malakai Black, there is no word on the severity of his injury. We hope to have something by tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. So neither one of them appeared. Now, I want to share with you the AJ Lee part of this. And again, I want to stress 1,000 times over, I am not putting any blame on her with this. But I got quite a few emails from friends, people who enjoy the show, because I live in New York and I live very close to where this convention took place. A lot of people were very, very upset with the way the AJ Mendez, AJ Brooks, AJ Lee, whatever you want to call it, we'll just say AJ. They were very upset with the handling of the AJ signing. And there were also others were very upset at the price. And I was afraid that this company that I guess represented AJ, I thought they were going to take their press release down because the signing is over. Why keep it up? They kept it up. I got to show you this. Maybe you'll turn around, and I'd love your feedback in the comment section. But maybe, in the comment section, you tell me, DT, I disagree with you. Or maybe you turn around and say, whoa, that's like crazy. This is like crazy, in my opinion. Go check this out. And don't forget, I have an AJ autograph. In fact, look, I even have the card still here, sitting here too. We're going to give this away soon. But I have an autograph inside. Check this out. I'm going to put it on the screen. Hang on. You definitely want to see this. Look at this. All right. AJ Mendez, formerly known as AJ Lee, at the big event, November 13th, LaGuardia Marriott Hotel. All right. Now, she is represented by a company. I don't know. You really can't see it, but at the top it says Glamour Under the Stars. Glamour Under the Stars. I know you see my mouse. So here she is. Okay. For tickets, you go to glamourunderthestars.com. You see it there. Now, I want to read this straight from their website so nobody could accuse me of clickbait or twisting words. But I got to read some of this to you. And you tell me if this is worth it or if just the whole tone of this. I'm like, you know what? Glamour my ass. You must have an admission ticket to the big event in order to meet AJ Mendez. Duh. You can't get in without a ticket. Duh. Collectors Expo, doing business as Glamour Under the Stars and Sorrentino Promotions, and shout out to Nero Fay, getting his bio. Oh, yes, that's right. It's Tuesday by you. It's Tuesday. You know what that means, Nero. You're going to email me great news later. Your biopsy was inconclusive. And, they obviously put over, okay, first convention in 6 years, first post-WWE convention, second time working with Glamour Under the Stars since Rhode Island Comic-Con. Rules and procedures for this rare public signing with AJ Mendez. You must have an admission ticket to the big event, New York. Here's the format of the signing. All right. I don't have drum roll sound effects here, but look at this shit. A 2-hour signing from 10 to noon, and then a 1-hour professional post photo op station from 12:15 to 1:15. All right, no problem. No selfies during the signing. If you attempt to take a selfie, you will be thrown out of the event with no refunds from Glamour Under the Stars, Sorrentino Promotions, or Big Event as a whole. You will be thrown out. Fuck you. I promised that I was not going to use the F word tonight, but fuck you. Fuck you. I wouldn't do a selfie. I mean, you know, it's not, but you can word that a little bit different. AJ, you know, we asked no selfies, please. Is the right way to say this. Now we get to cost. No combos being sold. No individual autograph tickets being sold. Wait, no individual autograph tickets. What does that mean? No inscriptions, no personalizations. Can I have it? My son, my daughter, Lisa, she's 9 years old. She loves you. Can you make it out to Lisa? No. No inscriptions, no personalizations. We continue. Tickets are as followed. No substitutions or changes. 2 autographs for $300. 2 autographs for $300. Can I have it made out to Don Tony, please? I'm giving you $300. Don Tony is 7 letters. It's actually the same number of letters as AJ Mendez. Please? Nope. Nope. And if you ask again, you're going to get thrown out on your ass. 4 autographs for $500. And that's only for the first 60 people in line. We continue. The VIP package, limited to 10, 4 autographs, and a Divas belt for $1,000. Oh, if you think the Divas belt is like a nice replica. Oh, I can't do my Seth Rollins laugh right now. Here we go. Professional photo op, $150. You take a picture with AJ. $150, no autograph included. You could take a picture, $150, no photograph. Jonathan, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. You'd have to do that 150 more times in order to get autographs from AJ Lee. Seriously. Includes an 8x10 print on site and a digital version. What that means is for $150, you get to take a picture with AJ. You get a digital version of that photo, and you get a generic 8x10. It is not autographed for $150. I'm ready to fart. Not kidding. Autographs is our 8x10 or your personal item, nothing inappropriate. Okay? Photo op station, professional post photo and printed. You may also use your cell phone camera. No selfies. A staff member will take your picture. Please have your cameras ready to keep the line moving. Make sure if you're using a phone or a camera that the batteries are charged. Any shutter delays, we will not be able to take the picture. Because of fucking shutter. But I like using my digital camera. There's a shutter display. There's 600 speed. Go fuck yourself. Look at this. I would never. Look, no guarantee on walk-up or standby customers. Jonathan, you're 149 to go. Much love, my friend. He likes styles better. Look at that. I mean, seriously. That is nuts. That is freaking nuts. I mean, look. Again, this is not against AJ. There are some wrestlers that I would pay $300. Yeah, there would be some people that I would pay $300. Undertaker charged a crazy amount of money at the big event 2 years ago. But the way that's written, whoever wrote that press release, honestly, you sound like a douchebag. You sound like a fucking douchebag. And I'm sorry for cursing, but you sound like a douche. Seriously. Hey, Larry C. Much love, my friend. Larry was screwed. He stepped on a screw. Now, am I exaggerating here? When a few people DM me and said, dude, I wanted to see AJ. Look at what she's charging, or the place is charging, and look at all these restrictions. If you try to take, you imagine a little kid. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't throw the little kid out. You imagine someone out there, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, could I take a picture with you? And they threaten to throw you out. Throw you out. Nuts. And the best part, you couldn't buy one autograph. You had to buy two. And if you took a picture with her, you didn't get an autograph photo. Just think about that. If you took a picture with her and you wanted an autograph, you had to spend $300 on two autographs and $150 to take the selfie. You would walk out of there with two autographs, an 8x10 unsigned, and a picture with her, and you just spent $450. Crazy. Mish had internet issues earlier, so he will be with me on Patreon tomorrow, and he'll be back with me next Monday. So, but yeah, I wanted to share that with you because I guarantee you no one is going to cover that. I thought that was outrageous. I thought it was. Just the tone of it. Just the whole tone of it. It's like, you know what? Keep your money. I'm curious to see how well she did. In fact, when we're done tonight, before I go to sleep, I pop an Ambien. While that's kicking in, I'm going to go do a Twitter search because you know damn well that if people paid to take selfies with her, the first thing they're going to do, even before they leave the building, I got to go pee. And they went in the stall and they tweeted that shit while it was sitting on the stall. So people probably, I want to see how many people tweeted themselves buying that. Again, if you have the money, you spend it however you want. I've always said that. But man, that company just, how's about being a little bit nicer? Can you at least clean the knife before you stab me with it? All right. Best wishes. I wanted to put this out there. I know a lot of you, that's a little too small. That's some very small best wishes, to be honest with you. All right, Bobby Fulton, one half of the Fantastics with Tommy Rogers from back in the day. A lot of you know that Bobby Fulton has been battling throat cancer. He went under emergency surgery yesterday, which apparently was a success. I don't want to say specifically what the surgery was. I don't know if they removed nodules, but, he's been dealing with throat cancer. And, man, I can't help but think back to Bobby Heenan. You saw how that ended up, but apparently he's wrestling comfortably. Believe it or not, you'll see, well, here's a picture of them as the Fantastics. You probably recognize him a little more. And for those that may not know, he was on Monday Night Raw once. That is the same Bobby Fulton. So best wishes to Bobby Fulton. I wanted to mention it because I know there's a lot of people out there that won't. So speaking of medical, perfect segue. Speaking of medical, last week on this show, Mish and I talked about Keith Lee's statement about his medical bills. And, he basically said that, I guess I didn't see anybody out there, accusing him of somebody else paying for his medical bills, but he wrote that last week saying that, nobody paid his medical bills but himself. Well, WWE actually, and this is a rare time that WWE actually responds to claims. WWE is basically calling Keith Lee a liar. WWE's statement to what Keith Lee said last week, they called it erroneous. WWE's statement, and I quote, Keith Lee's recent comments implying that WWE failed to pay his medical bills are erroneous. WWE has an extensive healthcare program for the medical care of its in-ring performers, and Mr. Lee was part of that program while with the company. Should Mr. Lee have any concerns over the payment of his medical bills, he is welcome to address it with WWE. His statement, well, for those that didn't tune into last Monday's show, his exact statement was, and I quote, I paid all my medical bills from the many offices and machines I frequented. There's positivity in that. And I do find it amusing that people believe anybody but me paid for those medical expenses. Now, look, Obamacare. Obamacare is designed so anybody could get health care. It's not cheap. You can get cheap health insurance, but the deductibles are out of control. In the year 2021, there is no excuse, especially for any professional wrestler, at minimum, to not have Obamacare. These wrestlers are independent contractors. They're not WWE employees. So they're obviously not under the WWE corporate plan because they're not an employee of WWE. Why would a health, and we talked about this with the Young Bucks. Remember a couple of years ago? And when I said it, it was a very unpopular thing, but it was 1,000% true. When the Young Bucks talked about how, one day everybody in AEW is going to have health care, unless they were employees of AEW, that is just impossible. Unless they want to start their own healthcare company. Because in health insurance, I've been an insurance broker since 1998. I have my own insurance practice. So as good as they know their wrestling, I know my insurance. And health care carriers only insure the employees because independent contractors, they can work other companies. And no health insurance company is going to want to insure somebody who can work here, work against this person. So they have to go out and purchase their own health care. Now, we talked about this with WWE also before. WWE requires their wrestlers to have health care. They have to go out and buy it. And then they have to show evidence of health insurance once a year. I don't know if it's March 1st, but one time a year, all the wrestlers have to turn in a certificate of insurance, evidence of insurance to show proof that they have health insurance. Now, WWE pays the wrestlers additional money in their salary to cover the healthcare costs. So WWE, okay, my healthcare costs $1,000 a month. Okay, no problem. We're going to include $10,000 more in your salary a year. It's in their deal. It's not in the contract that, this money, you could get any healthcare you want. But the thing is, if WWE reimburses you, if you want to look at it like that, $12,000 a year for healthcare, and you buy a $20,000 policy, well, guess who's going to pay the difference? No one thinks about that. Why would you want to settle for shitty insurance? So if I work for a place and they say, okay, we'll reimburse you. Here, great example. These glasses, there's fingerprints on them. These glasses, I bought 3 pairs about a month ago. If you remember on that Thursday show, I put on all 3 pairs and I had you vote which pair you liked the most. One pair was round. One pair, there was no color to the frame, and then they're these. And I paid $440 for all 3. My health insurance reimbursed me $300 of that $440. $140 I had to pay out of my pocket. What does that mean? I could have bought cheaper glasses and pay nothing. But you get what you pay for. So if Keith Lee, there was a certain amount of money allotted that, towards healthcare, and he's like, greetings and salutations. I would like a better health plan. I do not want extravagant deductibles. I prefer to have low deductibles. Hospitalization, I only want 100. Well, it's going to cost more. So he obviously is responsible for that. He's responsible for the deductibles. So in my opinion, I think Keith Lee was telling the truth. And I think WWE was telling the truth. I think they were both correct. WWE, for a certain part of it, Keith Lee responsible for his part also. But to turn around and make it seem like WWE gave him nothing, if I was WWE, I'd be pissed off also. Nero Faye's asking me, Impact Moose or an actual Moose? I'm still giving Moose of Impact, the benefit of the doubt. For those that don't know, thank you for the super chat, my friend. For those that don't know, Impact this week only scored 79,000 viewers. That is down, I have it in front of me, that is down 30.7%. World Series, my ass. Thursday Night Football, give me a break. Rampage went down to 515,000 viewers, down 14% going into a pay-per-view. What do people say now? Oh, there was soccer on TV. On ESPN 9, you had the World Cup, U.S. versus Mexico. And the last part of it went head-to-head with Rampage. What does that even mean, head-to-head with Rampage? That means anything that is on TV from 10 to 11 went head-to-head with Rampage. So if, I don't know, the Food Network, How to Cook Grasshoppers, did 110,000 viewers, why does that not consider going head-to-head with Rampage? Why does it always have to be a sport? Me, if there's a good porn channel, I'd rather watch porn than watch soccer. Good baseball, I'd rather watch baseball than soccer. If there's a tragedy, I'd probably watch the news instead. If there's Showtime at the Apollo, why isn't that head-to-head with Rampage? Why do these people insist that you like soccer? That's why Rampage's rating was low. Maybe we all like the E! Network. Maybe Carrot Top had a revival. You see how stupid this sounds? But you have that fringe element about AEW that now insists that Friday night's ratings suck because it's on at 10 o'clock. Wednesday's night ratings have gone down because California airs it at 5 p.m. and people aren't home yet. Name me one other goddamn entertainment outlet out there, from soap operas to news stations to other sports. Name me one where executives, networks, producers blame it on everything but themselves. Tony Khan, free publicity is a good thing. When you have people at your beck and call, literally licking your toes, that everything you do is epic, unbelievable, amazing, just the greatest ever. Those people are the ones that are hurting your fucking company more than you can imagine. You're going to end up just like a Ring of Honor. It'll stay around. It's not going to go out of business. But Ring of Honor, other than WrestleMania weekends, they drew 500-600 for almost 20 goddamn years. Why was there no tremendous growth? Why? Because you're catering for that tiny little nucleus. There's a very tiny nucleus of people out there, and a lot of those people, they don't have the attitude that, hey, all, yes, WWE, I don't like WWE, but you like WWE, and that's cool because we're all wrestling fans. People do that usually out of guilt after totally making fun of people. And then after that, those people out there make it uncool for others that, oh my God, if I even dare talk that I'm a WWE fan, well, you're a moron. WWE's the reason why AEW is going downhill. When CM Punk said there are no casual viewers anymore, anybody stop to think that is totally against what Tony Khan said when CM Punk debuted? Tony Khan said, we hope to get that casual fan that has fallen out of love with wrestling, that fell out of love with WWE, that we'd like to get him back. And what did I say on the shows? Rampage is going to do between 550 and 750. And the reason being is because a lot of CM Punk fans were already AEW fans. I don't know anybody who is a rabid CM Punk fan that didn't like AEW as well. and they're now learning this. And you keep using people, look, Bryan Danielson, the preview for Dynamite this Wednesday. I'll put this on here. We're going to start wrapping this up in about 15 minutes, everybody. Bryan Danielson this Wednesday just won the Eliminator tournament. Maybe not the Super Bowl, but maybe you won the game that brings you into the Super Bowl. Bryan Danielson, you just won the finals. You're now in the Super Bowl. What are you going to do first? I'm going to wrestle Evil Uno. I am a fan of Evil Uno. I don't have to prove that here. You all know that. But coming off a full year, you know why they're doing this? Because you stack up the numbers enough. He'll be 45-1. And when you start dissecting the people who he's beaten, sure, he's beaten some good opponents, but this is to pad numbers. This is the pad numbers. Just being honest. This Wednesday also we have Hangman Page, the championship celebration. He is from Virginia, so he's going to get a monster pop. You know that. Dante Martin and Leo Rush versus the Acclaimed. We all knew that on Saturday when they had that little confrontation on the pre-show. You knew that was setting up for Dynamite. Sammy Guevara versus Jay Lethal for the TNT Championship. Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose in the TBS Championship Tournament quarterfinals. Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii versus the Butcher and the Blade. And Bryan Danielson versus Evil Uno. That is your lineup. You'll obviously have a lot of the stars cutting promos. Obviously, the Young Bucks will probably have to answer why, they gave the nod to Hangman Page. So there's going to be a lot of other things mixed in there as well. Look, I said for a while that they needed to pull back on the matches because they were giving away almost pay-per-view quality matches on free TV. They had to pull back, but you see also that they're doing things to pad numbers. So anyway, thank you, Crazy Cruiserweight. Main event results tonight. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin over Commander Aziz. I keep saying General. Commander Aziz and Apollo Crews. So that was the only match for main event tonight. Tribute to the Troops aired yesterday. We had Big E over Dolph Ziggler to retain the WWE Championship. Bianca Belair over Liv Morgan. Roman Reigns over Shinsuke Nakamura. What else can we get into? I'm looking at I got pictures. I got to show this to you. Obviously, it's the 25th year since Rocky Maivia debuted at Survivor Series. And I got such a kick out of this, especially Damian Priest. Did you see the WWE wrestlers cosplaying The Rock? You got to see this. It's fucking scary how much Damian Priest looks like The Rock. I mean, sure, with shades on, and he's got a similar physique, but man, he nailed it. Look, you got to give it to Rhea Ripley and Riddle as well. I mean, they nailed it. Tell me that's not cool. I want to show you another one that you'll find cool as well. Check this out. Similar picture. I think he looks even more like The Rock in that picture. But you know what I found hilarious? You ever see when someone will say, type in like a phrase or when you look at this picture, what do you think of? Clifton, I don't have the NWA and MLW results tonight. We get into those promotions, NXT and AEW on Wednesday. So I will be more than happy to get into that on Wednesday for you. Absolutely. That's not Photoshopped. But let me tell you how funny this is. If you picture this photo shoot, when I show you the next picture, you can almost envision this happening in the back. You could picture some WWE stars walking by. Hey, guys, come here. We want you to, take a picture, to pay tribute to The Rock for 25 years. Yeah, but I don't have any stuff of The Rock's to put on. That's all right. We'll give you a couple of t-shirts and you just pose with us too. That's what that looked like. They're doing the photo shoot. Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Riddle. And I can picture New Day walking by. Hey, guys, come here. We're going to take a picture for The Rock. Yeah, but we don't have any Rock attire. Oh, we'll give you a T-shirt. Just put on the shirt. Put on the shirt. Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. Tell me that doesn't look like that. I mean, they do look like wax figures. I'm telling you, Damian Priest, man, I mean, he freaking nailed it. See, this is why I always loved, like someone had asked me recently, my Halloween memories. And one of my favorite Halloween memories was an ECW event where, everybody cosplayed, other wrestlers, and many times it was their opponents. And it was so funny to see some of these wrestlers dressed as, other opponents and stuff. I wish wrestling companies would do that on Halloween on TV. And you don't see that happen all that much. Like, they'll dress as other things, but they don't dress up as other wrestlers for all that much. Yeah, I know Riddle has the wrong tights on, but still, I mean, give them A for effort. Man, that's just phenomenal. But that picture with the New Day was pretty freaking funny. So, all right. Okay. I want to give you one more thing before we get out of here. Where's my Rock stuff? I'm looking at my celebration of the Rock. We'll put it like this. 122. Wow, we're actually going to finish in 90 minutes. My goal tonight was really to do a hard 90 to kick it off exactly the way that I wanted to. Yeah, I know, they dress as a wrestler here and there. I mean, look, we had them dress up a little bit of Hogan. I'm talking about on Halloween, like all the wrestlers, like just have a theme episode where everybody is in costume. I think that would be one of those shows that you will remember for a long time. Back in the day when we all still use VHS tapes, anybody that is older or near my age will vouch for this, especially if you're live in the chat room right now. And it's sad to say it like this, but back in the day when we used to buy wrestling tapes and you didn't get it off a bootlegger, we would go to wrestling events and there'd be somebody set up with a table and they'd have all bootleg tapes and you could buy your tapes there, $5 a pop. But sometimes you wanted specific episodes of Raw and you would go on eBay for it. And one of the most popular ones that people would buy is the ECW Invasion from 1997. Remember when the Eliminators showed up and they gave total elimination to the production kid? Everybody went on eBay and you'd have people selling it for $10, $15, and just doing hundreds of them. And WWE never tried to sue. But most of the time, the VHS tapes that everybody wanted were tragedies. The Owen Hart tribute, the Eddie Guerrero tribute. That's what everybody would always run to get on eBay. Because at that time, we didn't have, you had TiVo to a certain extent, but for the most part, you were taping it with VHS or you weren't taping it at all. And there was no WWE network. So people would run to eBay. And it was said that the most popular, most requested videos were the tragedies. I think if one of these promotions did a Halloween themed episode where everybody dressed up as other wrestlers and not just the legends of yesteryear, we don't want everybody. I mean, look, I don't mind somebody dressing up like Piper and Hogan and stuff, but you don't want to do that. You get creative. I think if they did a themed episode like that, it would probably be one of the most rewatched themes, period, because it would be such a different change of pace. So, Larry, I like the idea wrestlers could dress up like who inspired them. The problem is that if it's a wrestler that a lot of people don't know, I mean, look at Ruby Soho. For all of you out there, go on social media later and look at Ruby Soho's match that she's having, I think, on AEW Dark, and look at who's in her corner. I think it's Roxy, I think his name is. And you go down that announcement, and 95% of the comments, who's this? Who that? Who's this? I sound like Robert De Niro. Who's this? Jack Walsh. Who's this? Remember the Captain Ivan prank? I don't have it handy. Otherwise, I'd play it for you right now. So you can't, you start coming up with people that a lot of people aren't aware of. Then people have to pick and choose, because I guarantee you there's a lot of people who, similar, inspired by certain people. Plus, it's not that easy as you think. I mean, if you want to dress up like Trish, what are you going to do? Go on eBay and get a Stratisfaction shirt? How do you dress up with her? Like her? Oh, bad blonde hair. Yeah. And what else? So it's not as easy as you think. But who's this? So anyway, so I think we're going to start bringing this home, everybody. I'm looking to make sure I didn't. Oh, I do have one more thing. I brought up one last week. I didn't want to mention his name. I will tell you now that a second person that reached out to me. First one sent me a DM. Second one sent me an email and said to me that the person wanted to let me know that their vaccination status was never brought up with the release. There was no ultimatum. It was never discussed. By the way, this person who emailed me that got released from WWE is vaccinated. Now, yes, I thought about it and I said, well, maybe they didn't bring it up because you're already vaccinated. I didn't say that. But the point is, Shane Helms was in the right ballpark with this, but there are people out there that look for bullshit news.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
My bullshit alarm. And, when I started doing this in 97, my catchphrase was, I don't want to be first, I want to be right. And I would say up until about 5 to 10 years ago, people truly wanted to get to the bottom of a story before covering it. You always had your clickbait. You always had clickbait. But what happens now is people look for bullshit articles. They know it's bullshit. They suspect it to be bullshit, but they still cover it because it gives them something to talk about. And you cover it up by saying, look, we can't verify this. We don't know for sure, but it's like Dolph Ziggler's tweet back in the day. Big if true. If you're not sure, or if you have a few people that say, look, this is not true, people still go with it because they want that as the attention getter. And I think that's so much bullshit, because now this is two people who are released from WWE, not named Karrion Kross and Scarlett, because everybody thinks that I did not contact either one of them because it's none of my business, their vaccination status. I didn't reach out to anybody. I got a DM when I talked about the Nia Jax situation. I got DM from someone that said my vaccination status was never brought up and there was never an ultimatum. And then I get an email from someone after last week, and the person said to me, I'm vaccinated and I was released. So it sucks to have to deal with this in these days. But again, when you hear certain news, just because a lot of people are reporting it doesn't make it true. Nobody learned from the BS about Keith Lee. The reason why he was pulled from Elimination Chamber, Vince has nothing for him. The guy was on his deathbed almost. And people are writing, oh no, they have nothing creative for him. Oh, they couldn't figure out something creative with somebody who was in serious condition and almost have a heart attack. They got nothing for you for that. And they didn't learn. They didn't learn. So with that vaccination stuff, like I said, until a wrestler comes out and says, I have been fired because I'm unvaccinated, that would be a major news story. Nobody is coming out and saying that. Just pointing it out. So anyway, I'm out of here, everybody. 90 minutes, exactly what I wanted to do. No reason to push it and go overboard. Especially if I'm going to be up here 5 to 6 days a week. We definitely need to pull back on the lengths of the shows a little bit because, my God, every single one of you that's tuning in, and I'm not pandering to you, I swear to God, but everybody who's tuning in, whether you're live right now or you're checking this out later on, I get it. There's a lot of other shows out there that you enjoy. People who are in the wrestling business, people who are not. Different styles, different content. And it would be wrong for me to ask you to spend 15 hours of your week tuning into only my stuff. So, I get that. And that's why, I'm not trying to take stuff away. We're actually trying to add and improve on it. But, having these shows end shorter will just make the experience that much more enjoyable, keep everything fresh. And for me also, wow, I actually might be able to go to sleep tonight before 1:30 a.m. And by the way, seriously, no BS. My mom is going in tomorrow for an angiogram. I don't know what the other test is, but she's been dealing with a lot of shortage of breath. Her oxygen level has been low. And I know that they're sticking a camera down her throat to check her heart. And then they're sticking one up her, what, to check things as well. So she's going to St. Francis Hospital tomorrow. So I will be on location at their house. Hopefully, she doesn't have to stay in and get a new pacemaker and things like that. So, Mama de Blasi is going to be in our hearts and prayers tonight and tomorrow. So I thank you all for joining me tonight. On the way out, if you don't mind, if you enjoyed the show, hit that like button. It's not a gimmick. I know that there's like algorithms that based on data, YouTube will recommend the show to others more and more. I'm sure a lot of you out there, when you log into your YouTube feed, you probably see, a lot of other wrestling shows that pop up as a recommended show. And that's because of the amount of interaction. You post a comment. If you like the show, as long as you're interactive, that helps me tremendously. And again, BlueWirePods.com. Tomorrow, I will be on that page. I will be joining that very elite group of people. If you would have told me over the last couple of years that I would be joining exclusive shows like this, no others. There's no other pages. I'm going to be the 8th wrestling show. And trust me when I tell you, the Donzilla Army, which is each and every one of you out there, I want to make this son of a bitch so big that even those shows are going to turn around and say, but why? Why this guy? It's all good. I take that as a positive. But very cool. Very cool. And honestly, if it wasn't for all of you supporting what I do, that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. That's why in March of last year, I wrote hashtag, do I want to tweet or do I want to eat? And it's true. There are people that'll just live on social media, write the little emotional tweets about things, get 100 likes, and that's good for them. And that's fine. But here, when I say hard work does pay off, it takes some time. But in this case, it seemed like it has. So I'm having a ball. Work sucks sometimes, but for me, this does not feel like work. It feels like fun. It is fun. And I can't thank you enough for allowing me to annoy you for a few hours every week. And as a result, I'm on this network. Let's see where it goes. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. Whole bunch of intros for the shows are done. Earlier today, a funny thing happened. Friend made a intro video for the sit down for Don Tony. And it's got like a little Italian vibe to it. You even hear somebody in the back going, What are you looking at? What you looking at? And I actually posted it earlier as a sneak peek to our channel members. And I was so excited to put it up that I didn't even watch it closely before I put it up. I put it up and my fiance's here and I said, hey, honey, look at this. And she looked at it and she's like, good spelling. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I went back and watched it on slow-mo. There was like 5 words misspelled in the intro. I took that son of a bitch down so quickly that everybody in the channel members are like, I don't see no video. I don't see no video. Where's the video? I don't see no video. I took that shit down so fast because words were misspelled. It was bad. And you know the ironic part is? The ironic part? I could get it right now and play you the audio. He made me an intro for Monday nights hosted just by me in case my co-host doesn't appear. Because once in a while, Mitch takes off, which is fine. And he sent me the promo tonight, and that had misspellings as well. So I came this close of airing a promo tonight that introduces Breakfast Super Raw, only hosted by me. And it was just funny because he said to me, he goes, do you want me to make you one up, just for you? And I'm like, why? He's like, in case your co-host doesn't appear now and then. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And he sent it to me 2 hours before Raw. And I was like, oh, man, look at this. Perfect timing. When Mitch told me he couldn't come on. And then I looked at it closely and there was words misspelled. Oof. They were bad. They were bad misspellings. You know what? He's fixing them. And this week, you'll see them all. But once I have them for a good laugh, I'll show you the unedited ones. And when you see some of the spellings, you're going to be like, stupid. So stupid. You got to see some of the misspellings. Oh my God. I think one said it's Saturday night and it was just IS. Is Saturday night. Is you is, or is you ain't. Is you is, or is you ain't my baby. Tom and Jerry. All right, everybody. I'm rambling, which means I say goodnight.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking.
Sorry. Somebody said, Charly. All right. Don't forget Thursday. Somebody's going to win both. Charly. Look at this hair. That's Charly. That's Lily. So, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that I made the mistake last week. Showed you this. You look close. Beautiful sequence. This is plastic. This is hard plastic. See, look. This is really nice quality. Seriously, really nice quality. But last week, I said that the belt was sewed onto the doll. And I was kind of bummed out like that. And I showed the doll to my fiance, and she's like, what are you talking about? Comes right off. There's some type of metal inside here, and it goes on. It actually, you could take the belt off. So no peeking, but yeah. So the belt is removable. Yeah. That's better. So yeah, I wanted to show it because, when we showed it last week, I think on Thursday, I said that the belt didn't come off. And she's like, what are you talking about? It comes off. And she took it right off. I'm not undressing it. Does it undress? No, you know what? It's attached by this, the supposedly was an emerald. But I tell you, if you look at it up close, it's got like nice sparkles to it. Really, really nice. I told you, it reminds me of Heath Slater. Remember Heath Slater? Heath Miller, whatever his name is. When he used to wrestle in WWE, he would be getting his ass kicked, and his hair would be over his eyes, and instead of getting his ass kicked, he would always do this. He would always have to like flip his hair over, and then he would sell the pain. So somebody's going to win that Thursday. You could still enter if you want. Just check out Thursday's show. Easy instructions. If you look at the comments, you'll figure it out. 1, 2, 3. So now I can officially say good night.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.